you gotta do is, alright, I got my remote. All we gotta do is turn the switch to on. Yeah, just the back wheel. I'm gonna glue the spring right here on the side. So I don't know if it's the right word for it. The certificate, I don't even know how to say it. So force is pulling it off. You know what I'm trying to say. The force is pulling it out and making it an odd shaped, gosh, I can't talk right now, an odd shaped turn right here. So therefore, it's going to throw it and give more motion to the decoy up at the top instead of just keeping it in the middle. So now I'm going to get my spring. We're going to cut it down to size. Got my spring. It's not very strong spring. It's pretty flimsy. So I'm just going to use, I'll probably cut off probably about 2 or 3 inches, about 2.5 to 3 inches. That's what I'm going to do now. Use my multi-purpose tool. If you got side cuts or anything like that, you can use to cut these down. But like I said, about 3 inches. This multi-purpose tool will do. Oh. Succeed together, we fail together, right? Now I got my multi-purpose tool jammed in there, the wire's jammed in there, so now I gotta get it off. I have to edit this one. Alright, let's use the back of my blade to get it open. It's been a while working on it though, I couldn't figure out how to do it. Just had to pry it open. Alright, trim up this tail a little bit. So now I got about 2.5 inches of spring. I'm going to glue it right here to the edge, just like that. Tracking? So I'm going to get my glue out, or my cement out right now. Okay, I got there thinking, it's not very much movement into here. See this? There's a whole bunch of movement into here. And that's probably about 5.5 inches. So instead of getting my gerber caught this time, I pull it out a little bit so I can get into it. I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to use about 5.5 inches. Just like that. A lot more movement into that. Now I'm going to get my glue out, and we're going to put it off-centered. Alright, so I got this multi-purpose cement right here, and directions said it'll set in 5 minutes. So, and the surface needs to be dry, and it's dry. So I want to put some glue on this bad boy on the wheel. Not too much where it's gonna seep down into on the axle and make the axle stick. Sorry, I'm pretty bad at multitasking, talking and trying to set this at the same time. What I'm going to have to do is keep this held here for 5 minutes. So that's what I'm doing. I'll hold this for 5 minutes. One thing I just noticed with this cement, this is a spring. So I'm putting pressure on there for 5 minutes. But when I release, the spring stretches out a little bit. So I got to hold it on there, but keep it at a pressure where it's not going to pull the cement off. Okay, another thing I just noticed, you got to be careful on the tires for cement dripping down onto where the treads are, because the tire still has to fit inside that fender, so you can't have too much excess glue falling down there. Yeah, I got it set up so it'll hold it straight up and down. Right now it's taking a while to set, so it's probably been about 7 minutes and it hasn't set because I was constantly, the pressure was just constantly moving. So I'm just going to let it sit just like this with nothing touching, just having it held straight up, and then we'll see how it comes out in about another 10 minutes because I don't want to chance anything. So okay, what I'm going to do next is I got just these scissors holding up that glue. It's been about like 40 minutes and it still won't stay up on its own. So maybe this cement isn't the way to go. Maybe some super glue or something else like that. So that might be something else you can look into. But I just tore off a piece of duct tape, probably about 1/2 inch wide, probably about 5.5 inches long. What I'm going to do is, remember how I said I'm going to have 2 different tops, one with that fur and one with feathers. So right now I'm just going to make these feathers into like an array so I can attach it to the top of this wire and I'll hold it up. I'm just going to alternate putting them on. We'll see how it looks here in a little bit. Alright, I probably made about 3 inches of feathers, laid them down. Just gonna wrap them up in this tape. So start from the side that you wrapped already, and just roll them up. Like a sleeping bag. And just keep wrapping it. Kind of fan them out. And there's a top. Make sure none of them come loose. Don't look like they will. There's one. I think I'm gonna make 2 of them because I think I'm gonna put 2 of them on there, just to on one piece of wire, just to make it look like there's a bigger bird or something. Alright, so I made 2 things of feathers. I remember that piece of wire that I had? Well, I got probably about 5 feet of it. It's really thin, so I'm going to double it over. So find the middle, and double it over. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double it over again. So now I have 4 strands of wire, 2 on each side, kind of like bunny ears. Just like that. Okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to braid, not really braid, but twist 2 strands together, because I'm going to have 2 things up at the top. Alright, right here, both of these bunny ears. I'm going to attach these feathers to that. So right now I'm just going to twist these together. Just like this, all the way to the top. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright, just keep twisting them until the 2 become 1, all the way up to the top, just like that one. See how this one spread out? Do the same thing. And now I got 2 strands of wire right here, but I don't want them to be just in a V of the top, so I'm going to drop one side down probably about 2 inches. I'm going to do that by wrapping it around the base and drop it down probably about 2 inches. I want it to be offset. Just for me, this is my personal preference. So just keep wrapping it around the base just like that. See, now they're becoming offset. This one's higher than this one. See that? This one's higher than that one.